It's your under degree. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
We gotta run it back. We gotta run it back. Let's go.
It's your under degree. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under degree, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
I'ma run it back one more time. We running it through one more time, gang. One more time, gang. Get in here. Get in here.
It's your under degree. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me, sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea, sip this tea. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape. And sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea. It's Yolanda degree, sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me, sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea, sip this tea. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape. And sip this tea, sip with me. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, spilling this tea, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. It's Yolanda degree, sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me, sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda the Great, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling 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 and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea.
David. What's up, y'all? What's up? I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I do apologize. I had to get my video ready, and I was having some situations with the download. But what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? What's up, Damon? What's up, Peanut? What's going on? Y'all know we getting ready to get into it. I told y'all a couple days ago I was not able to go live because I got off of work late, but I tried to tell y'all this war is far from over. Iran is not backing down. And our government, sorry to say, we're not telling the full truth. We're not. So I'm going to get right into it. Give me a second to pull up my screen. We're going to get into this. This is crazy. Later on, I will be doing an update on Epstein, and I got something good, and I don't want to spoil it, but this case is getting crazy, and I got a feeling something will be done. But let me pull up my screen. We're going to get into it. Let's go.
Trump politically. It's far more likely that this war will accelerate regime change in America than it will accelerate regime change in Iraq. I've been in this town for 45 years, and every year I've been here, there's been some effort by Netanyahu to get the United States to go to war with Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu has tried for 40 years.
Y'all hear that? He has tried for 40 years to get a president to go at Iran, and it's never been done until Trump came into office. Let's go.
To get a president to attack Iran, and he finally found one stupid enough to do it. You have to understand, it's not like these other presidents were weak, or they didn't want to topple the regime, or they were afraid of using military force. Tell that to Dick Cheney. He was ready to, but they understood what would happen if you tried.
What we're witnessing.
All right, gang. Like he said, 40 years. And here's Trump. They don't have a clear plan. We don't have a clear exit. And they did not think Iran was going to strike. Russia is helping them right now. Russia's helping them. Let's go.
Saying right now is the fact that, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said the other day, he's been waiting 40 years to launch this attack. And he finally found an American president in Donald Trump who was stupid enough and reckless enough to do it. The Trump administration has no plan. They've never had a plan. Their rationales shift day to day. They have no end game. What we're witnessing here is an administration that has put American lives at risk. We've lost 7 service members. The
number is climbing. the number is climbing.
Many more wounded, many civilians killed, Iranian civilians, including school kids. And they can't tell the American people what this is all about.
And even though the proof is out there, they are still jumping around, bouncing around, not being honest about that school.
This is making our country less safe. They've taken the lid off Pandora's box and unleashed forces.
And now we're getting terrorist attacks here in the U.S. Here in the U.S.
that they have no plan to deal with.
You do not send American troops, the American military, into a war that you are unprepared for and that you do not have any idea how the enemy is going to react. And so we're seeing Americans dying, injured. They don't even have an objective here. It's unclear entirely. I don't think they know what they're trying to do. Now we're seeing that they didn't anticipate that Iran would actually retaliate. Is that really what they're saying?
I don't know what made them think that they were going to go in there and bully this country, okay? It don't go that way. They are fighting back with everything that they have.
Right now. And the ineptitude and the unpreparedness that is evident now that we're seeing is exactly why you don't rush into war to avoid talking about the Epstein files. And that is so clearly what is driving this.
And as we take decisive action to stop the threat.
Now, this is Trump saying that we won. This it's not over.
Posed by the terrorist regime in Iran with Operation Epic Fury. Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You know, you can only do. And we've won.
And when you guys hear what he said, as far as when he feels that it's over, is when he feel it in his bones. What is that? When I feel it in my bones. Okay.
Let me say, we've won.
Wait,
what? You never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over. But we won. But they gave me a list of names at General. Sir, you can pick the name you'd like, sir. I said, the name of what? The name of the attack on Iran, sir. And they gave me like 20 names. And I'm like falling asleep. I didn't like any of them. Then I see Epic Fury. I like that name. I like that name. They've lost their name.
They tried to talk to this man behind the scenes. They tried to talk to him.
Navy. They've lost their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are gone. And we could do a lot worse.
Their leaders are not gone.
We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
Yes. You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one?
So he said it's a little excursion, and then he said it's a war. So which one is it? Is it a little excursion, or are we fully at war?
One is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war, and the war is going to be. I mean, for them, it's a war. For us, it's. Turned out to be easier than we thought. But think of it, they had thousands of missiles, 8,000 missiles. We got many of them before they got to launch.
We were told before we obliterated. That's not true.
They have drones all over the place. We got many now. We're knocking out the drone plants, as you know, we're going fast. They started talking about mines. So we hit 28 mine chips as of this moment, 28. Like using the same weapon, the exact same weapon that we use against the drug dealers in the water.
Can y'all please hit the like? Please hit the like. I got some info for y'all. Please hit the like.
I think what they're telling people is that when Donald Trump decides to stop, then the war stops. And if that's in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's up to Trump. He'll say when it's the right time, and then we'll stop, and the Iranians will stop. That's
not true. They're not going to stop.
Theory. And to be fair to them, That may happen, okay? We can't say that that won't happen. That's one scenario. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's the current plan if there is one. Donald Trump just stops and everyone just stops and go back. Now, there's another scenario.
Again, he said when he feels it in his bones, that's when he'll stop.
Which I think is more likely, which Chris Murphy seems to think is more likely, which is that the Iranians don't stop. That after we just bombed their cities, killed all these people, killed the Ayatollah, destroyed their, military and their navy, that they're still going to want to fight. Okay. And then if they're fighting us, we got to fight them because that's what a war is. Once you're in it, you're in it.
When it's over, and I don't think it's going to be long, when it's over, this is going to bounce right back so fast.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
When I feel it in my bones. Again. When he feels it in his bones, Diamond Gang.
Destroyed their, military and their navy, that they're still going to want to fight. Okay. And then if they're fighting us, we got to fight them because that's what a war is. Once you're in it, you're in it.
When it's over, and I don't think it's going to be long, when it's over, this is going to bounce right back so fast.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
Majority of the American people are against this war.
When I feel it in my bones.
On the road rallying for the midterms, President Trump targeted one of his chief critics in the Republican Party, Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie.
Massey's a complete and total disaster as a congressman and, frankly, as a human being.
Massie led the charge to force a House vote to release the Epstein files, something Trump.
This is why he mad at Massie, because of this. The Epstein files being released.
Resisted for months.
This administration can't even give us a straight answer as to why we launched this preemptive war.
And Massie has not held back his criticism of the Iran war, but Trump defended it, saying the U.S. stopped Iran's, quote, terrorist threat to the U.S., and he claimed a premature victory.
Operation
Premature victory.
Epic Fury! We've won. Let me say it, we've won.
While the end to the conflict is not clear, its impact on the economy is. Poll numbers show a majority of Americans are against the war amid
53% of Americans are against the war. 40% support it. 7% is just out there. They don't know.
Rising gas prices, with oil again spiking over $100 a barrel.
Prices are coming down very substantially. Oil will be coming down.
Not fast enough for business owner Ed Zumbiel.
Our biggest fear is that the spike in oil prices is
That oil ain't coming down no time soon. I'm telling you.
not going to drop quickly enough.
Zumbiel runs one of America's largest family-owned beverage packaging companies. He says if oil prices soar, so do production and shipping costs.
That's going to raise our
Hit the like and please do not curse in my chat. Misspell all curse words. Thank you, David.
cost, which is in turn going to force us to pass the cost on to our customers.
This message, this is just coming in to us that President Trump just posted to
Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this because he feels like we can make some money.
Americans on his Truth Social. He said the United States is the largest oil producer in the world by far. So when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. Is that something that resonates with you?
Where did he get this ideology from? This is crazy.
Your constituents?
That's an insane statement by the President of the United States at a time of war. For him to just be flailing right now, you can see
when the prices go up, we're going to make money.
That the White House is clearly in panic right now because this war is not going as they thought it would. They thought it was something where, we would see regime.
They are crashing out. Pete is crashing out. Trump is crashing out.
Change. They thought they would get unconditional surrender. These are all the things that President Trump is saying. Every day, it's a different rationale, a different conclusion by him. And that's what's causing this problem. So I can tell you, the American people, the people I talk to, they're thinking about their grocery prices. They're thinking about their housing prices. They're not thinking about how much money American corporations.
Get ready because we getting ready to pay a pretty penny for food if this gas stays the way that it is.
Are going to make off of higher oil prices because that's just going to raise all of our prices at home. And that's where the president is just so detached. He's delusional about what it is that the American people want. I saw that at the State of the Union address. We see that now with him continue to prosecute this war that the American people don't want.
I want to ask you.
We have some news right now. There appears to be a schism emerging between.
This is it. I'm telling you guys, they tried to talk to him behind the scenes. There is division behind the scenes. Let's go.
Vice President J.D. Vance and Donald Trump regarding the war in Iran. There's a new Politico article out today that shows that J.D. Vance was skeptical of the strikes on Iran, and
J.D. Vance was skeptical.
Expressed that skepticism to Trump behind the scenes. As one White House official that texted Politico said, quote, Vance is skeptical. Vance is worried about success. Vance just opposes the war on Iran.
And he can't even speak up and speak out. He got to make excuses.
Another senior Trump official said that Vance's role is to provide the president and the administration all points of views. And then once they went into war, he's fully on board. But Vance has been very quiet ever since the war began. Hasn't really spoken about the war much. Hasn't really said it publicly because it's very...
Vance is not with this. He does not want this to go on.
Against his America First mindset. And Vance, who is running for president, may not want to adopt all of Donald Trump's positions as he heads into what will be a very tough presidential election within the Republican Party.
Him being quiet, he's playing it very smart. That is very smart, because if he does plan on running, and if he's going in like Trump, adopting his ways, it's not going to go far for him.
Party, but also just generally spread the word, follow along for more.
Now look at this. Okay. Trump's cabinet was in an interview. Trump pulled him to the Situation Room during this interview, and he was very shaken up. Ain't no telling what Trump told him back there.
Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary.
You can work that in.
I sat down with Scott Bessent for a 50-minute conversation. We began about 5 hours ago, but only finished about 2 hours ago, because in unprecedented fashion, the interview was interrupted when the president called on the Treasury Secretary to make that short trip across from the Treasury building into the White House to join him in the Situation Room. The conversation picked up a few hours later when he was done in the Situation Room. Here's a little taste of what we discussed about Iran.
He pulled him so fast, so he must have said something that Trump didn't like.
And specifically, what they'd been discussing in the Situation Room. Are you starting to think, if this does keep persisting as it is, that the Navy has to go into the Strait of Hormuz to help ships get through, which would have a big effect on...
Look, that was always in our planning.
And I'm going to show y'all. They blocked it, and I mean, they blew those ships up.
There's the chance that U.S. Navy or perhaps an international coalition will be escorting oil tankers through. There are, in fact, tankers coming through now. Iranian tankers, I believe some Chinese flag tankers have come through. So we know that they have not mined the straits.
And was that what you were just discussing in the Situation Room?
We were discussing a plethora of things.
And
can you please hit the like, gang? Please and thank you. Just hit the like. I'm not asking for a super chat, a cash app, a nothing. Just a simple like. Please and thank you.
Is it your belief that the volume of ships going through the Strait of Hormuz will be improving immediately from now?
It is my belief that as soon as it is...
He's stuttering. He can't even get his thoughts right. Trump pulled his butt so fast in that Situation Room.
Is militarily possible, the U.S. Navy, perhaps with an international coalition, will be escorting vessels through.
I thought what stood out to me there is that the Iranians haven't mined the straits, that ships are passing through, even if sporadically, and the very clear implication there, Scott, that the U.S. Navy, possibly with international support, might be going in to aid.
Thank you. to anyone and everyone to hit the like button. I appreciate that. Thank you.
The passage of ships going forward into the Straits of Hormuz. He also revealed to me that the cost of the war for the United States so far is $11 billion. When asked if there was a number,
$11 billion, gang.
that would lead him to knock on the door of the president and say, Mr. President, we can't afford this anymore. He said, absolutely not. It was a wide-ranging 50-minute conversation on the Master Investor podcast. It should be live in the next couple of hours with many topics covered from the background of his investment career, his outlook for the Federal Reserve, inflation and interest rates, and very much more.
Donald Trump has claimed that Iranian officials through back channels have tried to restart talks with the United States.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this because this is going to show you guys that they were in negotiations. They were trying to work everything out. And I believe it was the third round of negotiations when Israel and the U.S. decided to strike.
Negotiate. I've spoken with other Iranian officials who say that this is not true and that, in fact, third parties have come to Iran and suggested that maybe the United States wants to talk. What is the current position of your government on resuming any sort of negotiations with the United States? Have you reached out through intermediaries to ask to resume talks?
Do you think any Iranian with common sense would be really in a position to reach out to the United States under these circumstances? We were negotiating with the United States. In just 9 months, in the course of less than 1 year, we were betrayed. Diplomacy was betrayed. We were negotiating with the US negotiators. In June, we were supposed to meet for the 6th round.
I said the third round. It was the 6th round. That's when we decided to strike.
In Muscat. And just 2 days before that, the United States and Israel attacked Iran. Right now, we negotiated in.
And again, I showed y'all a video the other day when he said that Putin wanted to help. Meanwhile, Putin is helping Iran. I showed y'all that earlier, clear as day.
In all good faith, in all seriousness, in Geneva. And please, I refer you to the words of Omani foreign minister.
The British was arguing because of this. I'm going to show you guys that as well.
He is a neutral, impartial mediator. He said that we had significant progress. And then he suggested to both delegations that let's talk in Vienna on technical details of a possible deal. And we both agreed. And again, on 28 February.
So they were supposed to meet and a possible deal was supposed to go down. And all hell broke out.
Just 1 day after that, the American and Israelis attacked Iran. And look what Rubio said. He said that we entered this war on behalf of Israel. So they contradicted themselves because they first said we had to push against an imminent threat from Iran. That's a big lie. And then Pentagon themselves, they said that there was no imminent threat from Iran. There was no intention on the part of Iran to.
And yes, the Pentagon did say that.
Attack the United States. And please go to the history of Iran for the past 100 years. Have we ever attacked any neighboring country? No. We have only defended ourselves. Every responsible state, every responsible government is both entitled and duty-bound to defend its citizens.
So Iran, just to get a clear answer, Iran has not in any way reached out to the United States asking for a resumption of talks since the bombing began.
As I said, right now, we are 100% focused on defending our people.
So again, do y'all think this war is going to be over? Like he said, like Trump said, absolutely not. They're not giving up. They're not bowing down.
Defending our sovereignty, defending our national territory against this egregious act of aggression.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump is admitting that Vladimir Putin is likely helping the Iranians target.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that again?
American troops, and he's essentially discounting Putin's help, saying, quote, I think he might be helping them a little bit, yeah. And he
But the other day, he said he was in talks with Putin, and Putin was offering, suggesting things to Trump, helping us. No, he's not. He's helping Iran.
probably thinks we're helping Ukraine, right? Essentially saying that the United States helping Ukraine is the same as Russia helping Iran target American troops in the region in this war. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal has now confirmed that the United States military will be moving the Marine Expeditionary Unit to the Middle East. That is a significant development. 2,500 Marines will now be deployed near Iran. According to the Journal, Marines will be coming from the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in 29 Palms, California. Now, obviously, it's unclear whether or not this is a precipice of deploying Marines on the ground in Iran, but obviously there are fears of boots on the ground, and this new news isn't necessarily helping at all. And Trump says the war will be over when he feels like it, when he feels it in his bones. That's a direct quote.
Everybody is mad about that feeling in my bones. That was something else.
Spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. There'll be more to come soon.
I'm not going to take lectures from someone who says...
Right here. This is it right here. British Parliament got into it. Heated debate over this war. Over this war. Let's go.
We should join the war. And a week later says, can I change my mind? I got that wrong. It is deeply embarrassing. After 9 days of saying, join the war, join the war, join the war. Yesterday she says, I never said we should join. I haven't said we should go in with the US. I'll tell you what's happened, Mr. Speaker. She and the...
They are so upset that they assisted us. They are upset.
Reform leader have been spooked because they realise they've jumped into supporting a war without thinking through the consequences.
Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. Donald Trump's war in Iran is illegal, and the situation that has unfolded since is verging on insane.
So Russia, Putin is helping Iran. British Parliament is upset that they even assisted us. Like, this is getting crazy.
Oil is falling from the skies, sewers are exploding, the IRGC is indiscriminately attacking civilians across the region, cargo ships, and potentially even mining the Strait of Hormuz. Whether the Prime Minister accepts it or not, he did indeed take us into that war when he allowed the Americans to use UK bases just last week. But I have a specific...
That's what they're upset about, because they were allowed to use their spaces.
Question. He'll have seen the same footage I have of an American Tomahawk missile landing on a primary school, killing 100.
They're still denying that, gang. They are still denying this. Let's go.
And 10 children. Does he believe that to be a war crime?
But let me be absolutely clear.
And to be honest with you, I mean, it happened, I don't know, with this administration, but that is considered a war crime. It's a war crime, and it deserves an investigation. Let's go.
We have 300,000 UK nationals, including Scottish citizens, in the region. Strikes, missiles and drones are being fired into the region, putting them at great danger. We are taking action to protect them. I'm astonished that the SNP says don't take action to support Scottish citizens.
Can you please provide some guidance? It's been 13 days in. Can you please provide some guidance?
Now, this is him denying it once again. Let's go.
Both of you, about the strike on the girls' school. There's been reporting.
This is Pete denying it.
That indicates the preliminary inquiry, even though it's ongoing, has determined that the airstrike was carried out by the United States. Given that there is another competing narrative, this was done intentionally, can you provide us with some guidance about whether this was the case?
Well, the issue on your first topic, an issue of such seriousness, we're not going to let reporting lead us or force our hand into indicating what happened in a particular situation, because the truth matters. So I can report that CENTCOM has designated an investigating officer to complete a command investigation. The command investigation will take as long as
He got so mad at the media today. I mean, he lit into the media so hard today.
it's necessary to address all the matters surrounding this incident. And the investigating officer is from outside CENTCOM, is a general officer. But I will note to this group and to the world, there's only one entity in this conflict between us and Iran that never targets civilians. Literally never targets civilians. I look at the process that's used on dynamic strikes or on boat strikes and others. We have a very high fidelity process in that case. So we don't target, Iran does. We will investigate, we'll get to the truth, and we'll share it when we have it.
Now, Diamond Gang, this is coming up. He's going to make it seem like Iran is hiding. They are scared. They're trapped rats. I'm going to show you guys. They are all in their streets. All their leaders are walking amongst the people. Let's go.
But it's not just that Iran doesn't have a functioning air force, or that their entire navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, or their missile force is shrinking daily. Even more importantly, they also don't have the ability to build more. That's the most important component I'd like to emphasize today. Soon and very soon.
And that's not true. They have to find it. And where the location of where it is under the ground, they may have moved it and placed fake materials under the ground. I told y'all that the other day.
Soon, all of Iran's defense companies will be destroyed. For example, as of 2 days ago, Iran's entire ballistic missile production capacity, every company that builds every component of the missiles, has been functionally defeated, destroyed.
And that operation can take weeks, not days, but weeks for them to find it.
Buildings, complexes, and factory lines all across Iran destroyed. So we're shooting down and destroying what missiles they still have in stock, but more importantly, ensuring that they have no ability to make more. Their production lines, their military plants.
If that was the case, the war would be over.
Their defense innovation centers defeated.
This is what U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said about Iran's leaders.
Desperate and hiding, they've gone underground.
Pay attention. I'm going to show you.
Cowering. That's what rats do.
But the images coming out of Tehran tell a different
There
story.
they go. There they go. Clear as day amongst the people. Let's go.
Several of Iran's most senior officials, including President Masoud Pezeshkian, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, and senior security official.
Do that look like they hadn't like rats, Diamond Gang? No, they're not.
Ali Larijani were out in the streets during Quds Day rallies, the regime's annual pro-Palestinian demonstrations. Now, Tehran is trying to project something very deliberate, that despite the extraordinary military campaign by the United States and Israel, the regime is still intact and unafraid. The power of perception is something the Islamic Republic has long used to its advantage. It knows if the leadership looks shaken or divided, it risks emboldening enemies abroad and opponents at home. Secretary Hegseth also said this.
We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured.
Now, we have no independent way of verifying whether Iran's new supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei, was injured in that strike that killed his father. We still haven't actually seen him, and all we've got so far is a written message read out by a newsreader on Iranian state TV.
And I have that. I have that written message, and I'll play it.
So until he appears publicly, that absence will continue to fuel speculation. Still, while Iran tries to project strength, its strategy has never been about winning a conventional war. Its leaders know there is no competition with American and Israeli air power. What they plan for instead is endurance and, in their hope, deterrence. Tehran wants its adversaries to believe that any conflict with Iran will become messy, prolonged, and region-wide. That explains why we've seen attacks on several Gulf states, why the Strait of Hormuz has been cut off, and why Iran continues to fight back. Tehran's leaders are trying to impose such a heavy political, economic, and regional cost for this war that the United States, Israel, and their partners would think twice before ever targeting them again.
40 years, Diamond Gang, 40 years.
In other words, they hope to achieve deterrence through pain. It's a risky strategy, but from their perspective, if Iran cannot defeat its rivals militarily, it can try to make the cost of fighting them so high that they won't consider doing it ever again.
So now we have confirmed reports that the
We're about to get right back into this school.
U.S. did strike an elementary school on the first day of attacking Iran. 165 girls aged
They want Pete up out of there, and they want him out badly.
7 through 12 were killed in this attack. Now, our Secretary of Defense wouldn't talk about it. Our President, Donald Trump, denied it and then said it was another country that struck the school. And now he's saying he doesn't know anything about it. Folks, Trump is lying, of course. His response to this incident has been shameful and beneath that of the commander-in-chief. In war, things can go really bad. And I have no doubt that our military did not deliberately target an elementary school. How could this have happened? Bad intelligence, old maps. There could be a lot of reasons. But here's the thing. When our military makes a tragic mistake, we fess up to it. We investigate.
That part. Fess up and let the proper investigation go through. Don't lie about it and don't deny it.
We don't lie about it to the American people and to the world. What the president and Pete Hegseth have done here is absolutely disgraceful. And here's the other thing you should know. A year ago, Hegseth gutted the office in the...
I don't care. It's still the same statement. Old video or not. That school bombing wasn't that long ago. So I'm going to play this wheels fall off until they admit that it was the U.S. That's the bottom line.
The Pentagon that helps mitigate civilian casualties in war, showing he could care less. He's called rules of engagement in war stupid and vowed to get rid of them. Well, now you see what his poor leadership, unprofessional leadership, has done. Folks, we can win tactically every single day in Iran. And
pay attention and get this message, because we can win tactically.
Still lose strategically. Go read the history of...
And still lose strategically. Listen, there's a message in this.
Our wars in places like Afghanistan and in Iraq and in Vietnam. I sure wish we had people who knew what the hell they were doing in charge of the Pentagon and our national security right now. Hegseth is a tactical guy, not someone who ever understood strategy. And Donald Trump, he's still trying to figure out why he started this war in the...
And that's why there's no clean, clear-cut answer on why. That's why. This is why.
First place.
The military just concluded that our missile killed over 175 schoolgirls in Iran. This is the biggest moral crime committed by our military in modern history.
Again, this can be considered a war crime.
Those who are responsible must be held accountable under military law. That means that those at the Defense Intelligence Agency who provided this information must be held accountable. Those at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency who may have been involved must be held accountable. And let me be clear, this teaches us that we cannot have artificial intelligence making autonomous decisions about who to kill in warfare.
Again, at the end of the day, they should have went through Congress.
We need to have a new moral direction for our military that abides by human rights.
Hey, everyone. Well, I want to just address that.
They want Pete up out of there.
Elephant in the room. And that is that it is time for Pete Hegseth to go. Now, whether the Secretary of Defense resigns of his own accord.
Pam Bondi, Pete up next, you watch. Pam Bondi next, though.
Or whether he is removed, it is way overdue for him to be removed from that office. Because we have seen over the last year nothing but death, destruction, and the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Defense and the unauthorized, illegal, and reckless use of the United States military to wage unauthorized wars.
That part right there. Again, that part right there.
civilian deaths, and the dismantling of the agency that is meant to safeguard American national security in ways that have threatened the homeland and now created a global crisis. So let's lay out the case. Today, it was confirmed by NPR that the U.S. Department of Defense is not investigating if a U.S. Tomahawk led to the death of 165 school children and teachers in Iran, but why. That means that the agency that is intended.
So, but why? So that they already know that they did, but they're trying to figure out why.
To secure national security, used American munitions to murder 165 children and did not have appropriate safeguards in place to prevent that from happening. Now, how did this happen? What we know is that Pete Hegseth was personally responsible for downscaling the office that is intended to.
Trump already put the blame on them. I showed y'all that the other day. He said it was because of what they were telling him. He decided to strike. What they were telling me it was his exact words. He named
to prevent civilian casualties. And so because they were operating skeleton crew, for whatever reason, the fact that that target was incorrect was never flagged inside the system. And so a US bomb was allowed to be used to kill school children. Now,
I don't care what nobody think or say about that right there. Is the biggest mistake ever. And someone will have to pay for it eventually.
In addition to that, 7 American service members have now died in this war. And it is reported that up to 150 American soldiers have now been injured. And this is a war of choice, a war that has not been authorized by Congress, a war that the President and the Secretary of Defense cannot even explain to the American people, a war that they just seem to have an exit strategy for.
No explanation of why, no exit strategy, but they're saying that it's over and we won. It's over and we won is what they're saying.
And yet we now have 7 service members who have died and up to 150 who have been injured. In addition to that, Secretary Hegseth has gutted the fundamental legal checks.
And now we have terrorist attacks. So we're not even safe here. We're not safe.
Inside of Department of Defense that are designed to make sure that the U.S. military is following the rule of law, not just domestically, but internationally. We know that they have now engaged in 3 separate military actions that have not been authorized by Congress, including strikes in the Caribbean that have led to the death of over 100 civilians, the invasion of Venezuela at the beginning of January, and now this war of choice in Iran. In addition to that, they have gutted the fundamental programs, the inspector generals, the lawyers, the advisory committees that are designed to keep
war of choice. And this is exactly what it is, war of choice.
Keep the Department of Defense in check, to make sure that they are following the law, to make sure that the U.S. military is not used inappropriately. And that is probably why reporting now is telling.
I'm praying for anybody that have children, husband, wife, daughter, son, that may be caught up in this. The
Secretary Hegseth misappropriated $93 billion, billion dollars just a couple of months ago.
They're going to be on. I'm telling you, he's next. After Pam Bondi, next.
Lobster and king crab and cable TV and furniture for the Department of Defense.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of lobster and crab and cable TV. That's a lot.
These are your taxpayer dollars that he went on an absolute blowout spending spree at the Department of Defense. While these folks
Oh my goodness, I don't know what this sticker means, but oh, Peanut, you gave that to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All I'm asking for is a like. Hit the like. I appreciate you, Peanut.
Administration are telling you that they don't have enough money for American health care and food assistance and housing for the American people.
Meanwhile, we got people starving. Starving. This is insane.
And Pete Hegseth has $93 billion to waste on furniture and crab and lobster at the Department of Defense. Come on.
Y'all better wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up.
This is absolutely disgustingly unacceptable. And in addition to that, they have issued purges that have led to some of our top military brass, who are some of the most distinguished members of our military, have been asked to leave their posts. They have erased the history of our proud service members who have served this country generation after generation. And they have misappropriated American taxpayer dollars.
They was bringing a soldier home, and Trump was in a ball cap. And Fox News put an old clip up because they did not want to show him in a ball cap. The disrespect.
To fight wars that they told you they would not fight. And so it is time for Pete Hegseth to be gone. It is time for him to go. So whether he resigns or whether it requires congressional action, it is time for Pete.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, Congress is on him. They're going to get Pam first, and then they coming for Pete. So get ready, because I'm covering it.
Pete Hegseth to go.
We know the new so-called not-so-supreme leader is wounded and likely disfigured. He put out a statement yesterday, a weak one, actually, but there was no voice and there was no video. It was a written statement. He called for unity. Apparently killing tens of thousands of protesters is his kind of unity. Iran has plenty of cameras and plenty of voice recorders. Why a written statement? I think you know why.
We're going to get into the written statement, Diamond Gang.
His father, dead. He's scared, he's injured, he's on the run, and he lacks legitimacy. It's a mess for them.
For the first time, we're hearing from Iran's
Let's go. We're getting into his statement right now.
new supreme
He would not name the United States. He would not say our name. He named us indirectly, but let's go.
leader, except we're really not.
این اطمینان را به همگان می‌دهم که ما از انتقام خون
Come on, y'all. Hit the like. Hit the like for your girl. Hit the like.
شهداء شما
Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei's first message came out as a prepared statement through Iranian state media. No speech, no video, no appearance. That's notable because security around Iran's leadership is extremely tight after the assassination of his father, Ali Khamenei. Now, Mujtaba
That part. And I'm going to read y'all comments when I get done. That part.
has also always been a behind-the-scenes figure and has rarely spoken publicly. So what we're hearing here may actually be the system speaking more than the man himself. Still, there are a few signals worth noting. First, continuity. He positions himself as the successor to both his father and the founder of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. He even
His dad did not want him in this position.
says it's difficult to, quote, lean on the seat once
He
held
lost a wife, he lost family members, and one child. Let's go.
by those two men. But the message is simple. The system holds, the revolution continues. Second, the war. He says Iran was unjustly attacked by the leaders of what he called the arrogant front. What's interesting is what he avoids. He never names the United States directly. America only appears once indirectly when he says its promise of bringing security to the region is a lie. Israel also isn't named directly. Instead, he uses ideological language when describing it, but the strategic signals are clear. He praises Iran's regional allies, the Houthis in Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Iraqi militias. In other words, the resistance front remains central to Iran's strategy. He also says the, quote, lever of blocking the Strait of Hormuz must definitely continue to be used.
And I'm going to show y'all because I got the footage of it.
Now, that's a clear signal Iran intends to keep pressuring global energy markets and Gulf economies. And he warns that if foreign military bases in neighboring countries are used to attack Iran, those bases will continue to be targeted. Now, that's a direct message to Gulf states hosting U.S. forces.
Hit the like, gang, please. I'm not asking for a cash app, a super chat, super sticker, just a like. That's all I want. Please. Thank you.
But he also pairs that with a softer line, saying Iran wants warm and constructive relations with its neighbors and has no desire to dominate the region. Now, much of the speech is aimed at Iranians themselves. He calls for unity and repeatedly talks about avenging those killed in the attacks, including his father, preparing the public for a potential.
So it was his father, his wife, family members, and a child.
Long fight. The bottom line is this wasn't a grand strategy speech. It was a consolidation speech meant to stabilize the system after Ali Khamenei's assassination. But it sends three signals: continuity in leadership, pressure points like the Strait of Hormuz remain on the table, and regional states helping attacks on Iran will face consequences. What's still missing is the man himself. Until we actually see Mujtaba Khamenei speak publicly, we still don't know what kind of supreme leader he's going to be.
Iran's Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei.
Now it's going to go into a little bit more detail, Diamond Gang. Let's go.
Has delivered his first message.
Now, they've been saying he's been wounded for about maybe 3 days now.
Since taking on the role of supreme leader in the form of a statement read aloud by an anchor on state TV. Now, in his message, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei called for unity among the Iranian people and also warned that the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route, will remain closed.
I will show you guys that explosion. It was crazy.
As a tool of pressure until the war is over. Khamenei also called for all US bases in the region to be shut down. Otherwise, he warned, they will be attacked. However, the supreme leader did also appeal to Iran's regional neighbors directly, stressing that Tehran believes in friendship with its neighbors and is only targeting US bases in these countries, despite the fact that there have been several.
So what he basically saying is, I'm your neighbor, but if you got the US in over there, I'm going to get them.
Several Iranian attacks now on civilian and oil-related infrastructure in the region since the war began. Now, we are still yet to actually see or hear from the Ayatollah publicly, and that is likely because, according to one Iranian official, the supreme leader is said to have been injured in the same airstrike that killed his father, the former Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Now, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei noted in his message that succeeding his father would, in his words, be difficult. And his appointment comes despite US President Donald Trump previously branding him as an.
And Trump said he did not want him as a leader. However, they did question Trump, and Trump said, I don't want to talk about it.
Unacceptable option for the role. A signal that Iran's leadership has no intention of folding to American pressure and an indication of the continuation of his father's regime.
Multiple analysts in the region tell me that Iran's
now we get right into that explosion, gang.
Strategy of disrupting, delaying, and depleting is working. And I think it's encapsulated, I'm told, in the one incident in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. A ship called the Mayarineri Thai flag tanker was struck by something right smack dab in the middle of the narrowest part of the Strait of Hormuz, right where it's about 21 miles. And in that 21 miles, not all of it is navigable. There's a shipping lane, 2 miles in, 2 miles out, 2 mile buffer in between. And that ship was hit right there in the middle of the trickiest part of it. Iran showing that it can strike at will, and officials and analysts.
Did y'all hear that? They can strike at will.
Tell me that what likely hit it is an Iranian C-802 Noor missile or a variant of it, which skims right above the water.
They did not get everything off of them.
Typically hits a ship right around the engine room, right at the water line, completely disabling the ship, setting fire. That's what we saw on that ship in the Strait. And they're able to show that they can strike at will. It's understood that there are thousands, maybe, of those variants of missiles.
Thousands. Again, thousands. But y'all just seen a video of Pete saying, yeah, we got it.
They also have drones that can strike, and there's not that much the U.S. can do about it, which is why we haven't seen American escorts, destroyers, other types of ships ferrying tankers in and out, because it's also dangerous for the U.S. Navy to go there because they could be targets of those missiles as well. That's why we haven't seen those escorts. So there is no ready answer to this missile threat that has been attacking.
I'm praying for anybody to send a military right now. Let's go.
Attacking tankers, stopping the flow of oil at the choke point for a fifth of the world's oil. That means, tell me the analysts, that Iran is basically going to dictate the end of this war, the conditions that this
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
war ends, trying to provide that it doesn't get attacked again and making it so painful.
So it's not when Trump says he feels it in his bones. That's the answer. When I feel it in my bones, it'll be over. No, it's not. He just said Iran will dictate. They're not going to stop fighting because Trump said so.
For the U.S., for Israel, for the Gulf states, that it buys itself a lot of space and a lot of time.
Eric is right here, y'all. That's it right there. In that narrow part. This is insane.
Iran is turning the waters here into a weapon, targeting oil tankers. Iran 50 miles that way, Straits of Hormuz a couple of 100 miles that way.
Now, Diamond Gang, after this clip, we're going to get into the terrorist attacks that happened here, okay?
Tankers just off the coast of Kuwait, off the coast of Iraq, at the northern end of the Persian Gulf. 2 tankers hit, set on fire there. In the Strait of Hormuz, Iran increasingly targeting shipping there. A number of ships hit overnight, another during the day. Iran is trying to drive up the price of oil. If oil can't get from here.
So if you guys think the oil is going to go down anytime soon, it's not. This is what they're doing. They're blocking. They are blocking it.
Down the Gulf, through the Strait of Hormuz, it can't get to the international markets. 20% of the global oil travels through the Strait of Hormuz. And Iran is intentionally targeting that economic lifeline for the global economy. And it's not just doing it.
So, gang, don't believe all of what you hear.
By missiles, it's doing it by explosives. Iran has a tried and tested system of exerting economic influence across the world. Right now, it is far higher, reaching a peak far greater than Iran has ever exerted before. This is an international crisis in the making on the waters here, because Iran has turned the waters into a war field. Ships, tankers out here are effectively sitting ducks. This is a hot war.
That's why they will not send the Navy over there. They will definitely be a target. This is crazy.
Global economy is at stake. This sea right behind me, that's the front line in this war.
All right, gang, we're going to get into the terrorist attacks here. Let's go.
On the ODU campus. Shots rang out at Old Dominion University's campus Thursday, sending students scrambling for safety.
But at that time, it was just fight or flight, so I grabbed everything
These students was not playing.
I could and just ran straight out the back door.
The FBI identified the gunman as 36-year-old Mohammed Baylor Jallo and said it's investigating.
People, be alert of your surroundings. This is getting real. Please be alert of your surroundings.
Thursday's shooting as a terror attack.
Prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he stated Allahu Akbar.
Police say the shooter walked into an ROTC training class, killing the instructor, a retired Army officer, and wounding 2 others.
There were students that were in that room that subdued him, and
those students they went into action. I'm proud of them. I am so proud of them.
Rendered him no longer alive.
Students confronted the gunman and one killed him with a knife.
If not for them,
Hit the like, Diamond Gang, for your girl. We almost done. Please hit the like, hit the like.
I'm not sure, what else he may have done.
Gallo, a former Virginia National Guardsman, pleaded guilty in 2016 to providing support for ISIS, apologizing at the time, saying he was disgusted by the terror group, and was sentenced to 11 years before being released early in December 2024.
He was released early. That's crazy.
We confirmed that he was formerly subject of material support to terrorism investigation.
The FBI alleged Jallow wanted to carry out an attack.
Look at him, y'all. He look crazy.
Like the 2009 ISIS-inspired attack at Fort Hood, where an Army major killed 13 and injured more than 30. At Old Dominion, Police Chief Garrett Shelton said protecting students is his top priority.
Every one of these kids are my kids, and I treat them the same way and protect them the same way as I would my own children.
One victim remains hospitalized in critical condition, while another student already has been treated and released.
Terrifying. That could have been way worse. I'm proud of those students. They handled their business. Please, gang, be aware of your surroundings. Let's go.
Attack on a synagogue in suburban Detroit. Police say that a man drove a vehicle through Temple Bloomfield, Michigan, starting a fire on Thursday. They say that security guards shot and killed the suspect before he could hurt anyone seriously. One guard was injured in this incident. Sources say the driver had a rifle and explosives in the vehicle. A friend of the suspect tells CBS News he was distraught after 4 close family members were killed in Lebanon by an airstrike last week.
And that's why he did what he did, because of an airstrike in Lebanon.
Synagogues worldwide have seen a recent increase in violence. Rabbi Josh Bennett of Temple Israel joins us now, along with Cassie Cohen, who was a staff member who was inside at the time of this incident. Good morning to you both. Cassie, I want to start with you because I would imagine you're still processing all of this. Set the scene for us. What did you see? What did you hear?
Hi, Gail. Thanks so much for having us.
They got him quick as well. We're going to, after this clip, it's more information on where he comes from and who he is. Let's go.
I was standing fairly close to the hallway where the car breached the building with about 5 other staff members, and we heard a loud crash.
And I mean, terrorists, they are willing to take their own lives to complete a mission. So this is just crazy.
And a bang, and we immediately knew that something was wrong. We grabbed each other. We ran into my office, which was actually very close to where we were standing, locked down, hid under my desk, and stayed there until it was all clear.
Yeah. Did you ever see the person who was driving?
I bet you guys any money that a lot of workplaces are going to start having drills and what to do, because this is hyping up. This is getting crazy.
The vehicle, and what did you think was happening? I know you just said you knew it wasn't good. What did you think it was?
So we were pretty sure it was a car. From where we were very close to where it happened, and we heard a very loud crash, and we could see debris flying through. So we figured it was a car that had driven through the building. Thankfully, we've actually had active shooter training and response training. And so
see, they had that training. That's good.
So we were able to immediately kick in and know what to do. And so that's when we went into my office.
Rabbi Bennett, Cassie, Nate Burleson here. Rabbi Bennett, I want to ask you, what are you hearing from the people that were inside the synagogue? And I also know that the synagogue is a daycare that has about 100.
A daycare? Oh my God.
And 40 children in it. What are you hearing from the children? How are the families doing?
One of the beautiful things that happened yesterday was not only did our staff react exactly as they had been trained, but our children, because of that, were given an opportunity to really not know what was going on. They were taken out of the building immediately. They were brought to safety across the street. We have an incredible partnership with the Chaldean community here.
Thank God that the babies are okay.
Who opened their facility for us as a reunification site. So our kids had the opportunity to be taken care of by their teachers
And because of the training that we've all gone through, it happened naturally. And
that part, because it's a synagogue, I'm pretty sure they had it down packed, had multiple drills to where a lot of workplaces don't do it. But I'm telling you, they're going to start
calmly. And it was really miraculous that everybody was safe.
Boy, Rabbi, it's Adriana Diaz. You know, you always hope the training kicks in. It's such good news to know that it did. I want to talk about your security because you recently ramped it up at the synagogue. What led you to decide to do that?
That was a smart move. That was a very smart move.
I'm having a hard time hearing.
I can't hear.
Rabbi, it's Adriana. Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Yeah. Wonderful. I was asking you about security. You recently ramped up security at the synagogue. What led you to decide to increase security?
So we have been a secure institution for many, many years. As a part of the Jewish community, we are ready for these kinds of threats. We have a full security team who is tasked with keeping us safe, but also training us to know what to do in the event of one of these events. So we knew that something like this might happen. Of course, we hope and pray that it never does come to pass. But when it does, they prepared us with active shooter trainings, with a sense of security of knowing what we are supposed to do in the moment. And everybody in our building did exactly what they were supposed to do.
That's what's up. Smart move. You know, a lot of times we panic when things like this happen. They were prepared.
And because of that, we are sitting here today with what could have been a far worse tragedy, something that really, the silver lining is that nobody was hurt.
Yeah, that is such great news. Cassie, how did you know that this was a dangerous situation? We have a story earlier on the news about an elderly driver who just lost control of the car and ended up where he shouldn't have been. How did you all know that this was a dangerous situation and not just a car who was gone out of control?
I can't hear the question.
Can't hear.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're having trouble with their audio.
Okay. Yeah. You all are having, go ahead.
The next clip is going to be who the guy is. It's coming up, gang.
So I guess one of the things that we are now dealing with is how we respond to this tragedy. We today are going to be having Shabbat services. We're going to go on because our Jewish community is strong. And we know that these moments can happen to us, but we will always be prepared. So our next steps are to take care of the mental health of our teachers, of our staff. And when we get through this, we're going to go back to business as usual, because that is our obligation as a strong Jewish community.
That part, you got to keep moving. You got to. Don't let the enemy win.
All right. Can you hear us any better now or no, not really? No,
we can.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. My question before, though, because I heard you, Cassie, I want to know what the temple means to you before you leave us. But I was curious how you all knew this was a dangerous situation. We had a story earlier about an elderly driver that lost control and ended up where they should not. How did you know that this was a dangerous situation that you were experiencing?
I think it was honestly just a gut instinct. I think that the intensity of the crash, hearing a bang right after it, just based on what Rabbi Josh.
That guy probably was so, like, he probably couldn't even do anything. He probably had broken bones and all types of stuff. But like I said, terrorists will end their lives to complete a mission.
We've trained for this, and so we all knew that we should not be near that or in the area, and the best thing for us to do was to lock down in a secure area. Thankfully, my office was right there, and about 5 of us were able to go in there and shelter and be in a safe place.
And Rabbi, what do you want to say to the Jewish community and really all of us during this time?
Once they're complete with the investigation, ain't no telling what that person had in that car. He could have had bombs. He could have had artillery. He could have had all types of mess in there.
Well, I think I have one clear message for everybody. The Jewish community deals with these kinds of moments all the time.
Yeah.
But we are prepared. And I think that the most important takeaway for me is that if a
And that's terrible that they got to deal with this type of stuff.
community pays attention to the training, to a security detail, to making sure that the people are safe and everybody acts accordingly, we can keep our communities safe. And that's the most important thing as we move forward.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're all okay. Cassie, thank you so much. Really, really happy to see you this morning.
What do we? All right, this is going to give us the details, and then I'll take questions, and we'll end the live. I'll be back in about in an hour to do Jeffrey Epstein update. I got a good update.
Know about the Michigan synagogue attacker. Ayman Ghazala, 41 years old, was born in Lebanon, spent the early part of his life there, and moved to the U.S. in 2011 on a spousal visa. He was married, had children here, lived in the Dearborn Heights area of Michigan, which has a large Lebanese community. He was working at a local restaurant that serves Middle Eastern food, a popular place according to community members there, and had not shown up for work, however, in the week leading up to the attack. He'd been reclusive. He stayed home alone. He did live alone at the time, according to community members that CBS News spoke to. So what was going on with him? Why did he carry out this attack?
Remember, gang, his family was unalived in that airstrike.
Well, authorities have not released a motive, but our reporting indicates that his two brothers both still lived in Lebanon, and they were both killed in an Israeli Defense Force attack on Hezbollah sites in Lebanon, and it's unclear.
So just think of how many can be that's here in the United States that may have had family members that were unalived in those attacks. Just stay alert, people.
Exactly the circumstances, how that happened, but their children were also killed. So nieces and nephews of Ghazala were also killed, and a sister-in-law injured, and apparently he was distraught over that, according to community members. He also purchased some kind of explosives and packed up his gray sedan.
Okay, so there was explosives in there.
And it appears that he had done some kind of pre-work to see how to drive his car in there. And
So he was planning it.
Drove around bollards and drove through the front doors of the synagogue, was able to drive halfway down the hall. He had a rifle with him.
Whoa.
A security guard confronted him.
Gang, I got this clip at the last moment, so I'm seeing it in real time with you guys.
And it appears shot him, but a fire was ignited. And the start of the fire, that is also under investigation, but he was engulfed in flames.
Whoa.
And his body was burned beyond the point of recognition, which actually delayed the identification of.
That's what I mean when I say people are willing to take their own lives to complete the mission.
Him as the attacker. We knew that the vehicle was registered under his name, but it took a couple of hours to confirm that it was actually him who had been driving the car. We don't know when and where he bought the explosives, how long he had been planning this attack.
That will come out, and I'll give you guys an update on it.
And so we are waiting for more information from authorities.
Bingo. All right, Diamond Gang. That is it. We are complete. I thank you guys. Let me go through some of these comments. I got to get ready for my next live stream. I'm so hyped about this next one because after all these years, I truly believe that they're going to keep pressuring for investigations about Jeffrey Epstein's death. I do have pieces of his oh my goodness, accountant. There was a deposition with him. So I got a lot of good information coming up in this next live stream. So please, gang, if you could come back in about an hour or less than an hour. Okay, let me take a look at some of you guys' comments, and then I got to get ready for this next live stream. I didn't think I was going to run this one this long. Hold on. Only reason why he didn't attack a military base like he planned, as they're on high alert it was Fort Bragg he planned to attack. What? Ugh, this is crazy. Hey, X, please, gang, for the ones that still left in here, hit the like for your girl. That's all I'm asking for. If you would like to support the channel with a super chat, super sticker, I will appreciate it. Become a member. I'm trying to start my members only live so we can have fun and, lay back a little bit. Become a member. Hang out with your girls. Fun over here. Take a look. You said Kamala Harris bought a new bus to run as president. It's a yellow bus. Okay. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. All opinions will be respected. You just can't cuss in the air or be disrespectful. That's all. But I'm okay with your comment. The last leader of Iran. Oh, sorry. I want to read this. The last leader of Iran was a terrorist and his son. Why is it going down? Hold on. Okay, here we go. And his last son is no better. That's true. If you think Iran could get nukes, you better believe they would use them against us. The Iranian people didn't select this new leader. Who did? Who did? What was I going to say? Here's the thing. They have enough material to build, to make bombs. When President Trump said he I can't even say the word, obliterated their everything. That was not true. They are trying to run a special operation where they're going to go in and try to get whatever remaining materials that they have. And this can take weeks. I said this a couple of days ago. However, if they were in negotiations, and here's the thing too, if they were going to do it, they would have been did it. Okay. It's been years. And in the beginning of this live stream, 40 years to be exact, no president was willing to do it because of, look at what's going on right now. These wars can become forever wars. And that's why they put specific laws in place that you have to go through Congress. There's only certain reasons or case scenarios that a president wouldn't have to. And I went over that. But you're entitled to your opinion. Okay, gang. So you said, so what's the war about again? You got me on that. And that's what we all trying to figure out. They don't have a clear, clean cut answer. They don't. So, because he thought that they were. There was no proof that they were going to attack. None. There were none. They were in negotiations. So, yeah, they do. The Epstein government, hold on, let me read this real quick. The Epstein government, Trump and Netanyahu, okay, are going down sooner than expected. Yeah, I think something's going to happen. I don't think that this is all going to be for nothing. I just don't. Okay, let's see. It's okay to be a lurker. These comments. Okay. It's okay to be a lurker, but help out this hard worker. Thank you. I love my mods. I do. They're the best. I got the best mods ever. Meek C, I seen you. What up, bestie? All right, guys, I got to get ready for this next live stream. I want to thank you all for just coming through. My subscribers, new people here, I encourage you to subscribe. I think I'm going to drop the link later. I don't have time to drop the link. If you want to come up, add to the conversation with Epstein. If there's something that I didn't mention that be my guest. I'm going to drop the link the next live stream. Okay? But I want to thank you all again. And please, please, please hit the like on the way out. Please, it helps my channel stay in the algorithm. All right, gang. I will see y'all in about 40 minutes.
Chill under the breeze. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. outpour is sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda the Greek, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's Yolanda the Great, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape.
Come and escape with me later on, y'all. Epstein style. Come on.
Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea.
Shouts out to my niecey Pooh, Danny Robertson. She made my intro song. I love it.
Spilling his tea, spilling his tea, spilling his tea, spilling his tea.